Sometimes the serpent priestesses are being annoying and they're deciding to run around all over the place, and they're just in general being very difficult to eliminate. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. And just as I swivel around the camera to make sure it's the way that I like it to be, we're gonna go into Janos here and speak to the Guildmaster, because what we want to do is we want to try and find the unique enterprise that one of you said produces more money than the rest. So, it's not an oil press this time. It's not an oil press, so what is it going to be? Is it going to be a tannery? It doesn't look like it's going to be a tannery, not a wine press. What is it going to be? An ironworks? No, surely not. Oh wow, a mill and bakery is actually pretty decent for the amount of money that you invest into it, but apparently it doesn't seem like there's anything here with the... Oh wow, even the weavery and dye works is not that good. Okay, so what is actually good here? Because it seems to me the tannery is the only thing that is actually giving us any amount. Any decent amount, that is. And I mean, I don't really want to invest. I mean, we could go for a weavery. I guess we'll just go for a weavery. It's only 6,000, 378 dinars per week. I really don't know, actually. This is all very weird because I don't really want to spend 12,000 on a tannery that is going to give me 500 when I could spend half that and get just 200 less, which is not even that bad. I mean, 300 is pretty decent. Let's just do a weavery then. I really have no idea. I don't know what you were talking about in the comments. That's a bit of a shame. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so in this episode, basically what we're going to try and do is we're literally just going to run around, try and kill some snake cultists, because they're usually going to have some pretty decent prisoners for us to rescue, and they're usually a pretty good source of loot and indeed money as well. So we're going to try and do that. I was attacked just a moment ago before I started recording in the city of Janos because, well, they were trying to steal my money. They were trying to steal my money, and it was not very pleasing to me. Ah, yes, I did actually forget to do one thing over here. We need to go into the tavern and just check and see what's going on. Just a sellsword. Alright, yeah, just a sellsword. That's not really going to get me to do anything, so yeah, that is absolutely fine. We can now move on to Sez, because it would be kind of nice for me to get maybe another enterprise going on there. I don't necessarily know... Whoa, there's a snake called Army right there. Let's be a little bit careful of that. Thank you very much. But I don't exactly know whether the Empire is going to declare war against the Kingdom of Salian at any point. But if they do, then obviously I'm going to be losing a whole bunch of profits. But that's exactly the reason why we do this, why we go to every single town and buy enterprises in every single territory, because if that indeed happens at any point, then we're going to have a fallback. You know, we're going to have a whole bunch of enterprises elsewhere, and we're going to be able to hopefully recover reasonably well. I mean, at that point, I should be a vassal, and I should have so much in the bank that I shouldn't have to worry too much. As you can see here, we're currently chasing down a snake cult band, and I'm a bit worried about this. 59 against 45. Now bear in mind that these serpent priestesses and indeed the anaconda knights are very good at what they do, so I'm a bit worried about it. Let's just get our people into a reasonable position. We actually have a really nice balanced army here, but I'm saying balanced in a very loose sense, because just bear in mind that why did I tell my cavalry to charge in? I did not want them to do that. Okay, amusingly enough. Anyway, no one died. That's fine. But anyway, point is, my infantry right now are very, very low level, and they're probably not going to be extremely useful. But what's cool about this is that the Serpent Priestess is having a bit of a trouble actually getting across the water here. So I might want to just attack them. Let's just attack them. Let's go. Let's go and just attack them. Go, archers. Yes, go, archers. There we go. Okay, now maybe I can do a little bit of... Oh, this is going to be kind of difficult, I feel. Yeah, this is going to be quite difficult. Okay, no, you're not going to use your two-handed sword against my units. Thank you very much. Well, you might be able to use it against me, but maybe not against my units. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, oh, Oh, that was unlucky. That was unlucky. I hoped that I'd be able to take the Serpent Priestess. Ooh, never mind. Okay. So apparently the Serpent Priestess cannot be taken prisoner. And I think, is that how it's always been? I think that's how it's always been. You can knock out the Cobra Warriors, however, which is obviously making things a whole lot easier for us, because the Cobra Warriors are going to probably sell for a pretty decent amount at a ransom broker. I would like to take an Anaconda Knight prisoner if I can, but at the moment I'm just out of range, and the river is making it very difficult for me to move. Okay, there we go. There's the Anaconda Knight. No, we're not able to take Anaconda Knights either, but it's okay because there's a whole bunch of Snake Cult armsmen here, and they go down like a sack of bricks. So, pretty easy. Or a sack of potatoes? Should we yeah, let's say a sack of potatoes. Why not? Then that's a little bit more, well, shall we say, non-threatening, because a sack of bricks could be kind of dangerous. You never know. I mean, if you're lugging around a sack of bricks, you're obviously very strong, on the one hand, but on the other hand, you could very easily hurt someone with those. And maybe with a sack of potatoes too, actually. Oh well, never mind. Let's stop talking about sacks of stuff. Anyway, let's go on and... ooh. Yeah, not really anything good here. So I'm just gonna let my people take whatever they want to take, and we're just gonna take the rest to sell. I remember actually, was this in Pendor? Was this in Pendor? No, I think this is in a different mod, but I remember that there's actually a sub-mod to do with looting, which is absolutely fantastic. It is an amazing, absolutely amazing thing to have. It basically makes it so that your companions will take loot into their inventories, and then you'll be able to sell it at the next available town automatically, which personally I thought was amazing, and I'm kind of surprised that they removed that from certain other mods. And yeah, I guess it's because it just makes it very easy for you to make money, and maybe that's just not what the mod creator had in mind. But anyway, Kasim has advanced in level, so we should probably speak to him. Oh yeah, I did actually advance in level by fighting those bandits in Janos just before I started recording, as I said. So we're gonna speak to Bertil the Looter in just a second. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't level up his strength anymore. I mean, he's not really gonna need very powerful armor. I mean, he is a horse archer, so he's probably gonna just be able to use Noldor armor pretty easily. I mean, maybe not? Maybe not, actually. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so we're just going to level these guys up. Let's get some pilgrims. Apparently, a number of you have said that if I'm going to go down the prisoner-taking route, that it would be a good idea to level up some of those pilgrims, and indeed some of these monks as well, because apparently they become inquisitors of some kind, and apparently they have really cool weapons in the way that they're able to take prisoners. They apparently use two-handed maces or something along those lines. So that should be pretty cool if we can get them there. Obviously, it's going to take me a bit of time to level up those guys, and hopefully they're not going to die. And yeah, actually speaking of that, a number of episodes ago, I did a little bit of a bet on whether that one fellow would stay alive, and I think he has, actually. Is this him? I don't think that's him. I think he actually did die in a couple of episodes ago, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well, never mind. Maybe what we should do is be a little bit more paying attention, shall I say, to those things, because when I say that, I'm like, oh yeah, he hasn't died in this battle and so on and so forth, but then when it's a couple of episodes down the line, I kind of forget about the guy. So maybe we should kind of earmark them a little bit more by tagging them in a certain group or something along those lines. That would probably make much more sense. Anyway, let's go into the Guildmaster and take a look and see what we can get here. An ironworks is not going to be good. Oil press, wine press, tannery is okay, but very expensive upfront cost. The mill and bakery is pretty decent. No, seems like the weavery and dye works is probably going to be the winner once again. Yep, weavery and dye works. All right, there you go. There's another 10,000 for you. And we're gonna go into the tavern. Frederick of Mettenheim. I am actually unsure whether he gets on with the companions that we currently have with us, which is a bit of a shame. There we go. We'll just sell our various prisoners there. Have you heard any rumors? His village was destroyed by a band of Knights of Eventide, or maybe Knights of Dawn. Alright. Well, anything else? No, apparently not. Okay, so here's the thing. Frederick is really good at training, as far as I'm aware, so it would be pretty cool if we could get him, but he is going to be quite expensive, I think. He's 6,000. If I decide to do this, then 6,000 is going to be a very... it's a pretty big sum. I could afford a weavery or something for that. And this is 60% of the value of a dye works. So, well, a weavery and dye works, shall we say. So that is... I don't know whether it's worth it. He's probably not going to get on with someone. He probably won't get on with Sigismund when we get him back. I'm just going to do it, alright? I'm just going to do it for now, and then later down the line, maybe we can create him as a vassal, because let's actually just take a look here. Yeah, he has 5 in trainer skill. That's absolutely fantastic. He actually has some really, really good skills as well. You can see here he's got 6 in power strike, 6 in iron flesh, 6 in athletics, and obviously the 4, well, no, actually 5 in trainer skill is pretty awesome too, 4 in engineering, and he also has 3 in leadership. So he can be a very worthwhile asset when it comes to creating him as a vassal. I think that could be pretty cool. Anyway, there you go. We've got a weavery and dye works, and indeed we have enterprises in the entirety of the empire. So if we can find another snake cult band, that would be pretty awesome. Let's actually just take a look. Okay, we need to take these spear maidens prisoner. We have completed this, so we can speak to Lord Othon whenever. And we need to raise 5 Sarlian halberdiers for Lord Andre, who is the brother of the lady that we want to woo. And that is Lady Sonadel, of course. And we need to go and speak to King Ulrich, because Sigismund is no doubt ready for us to return. Alright, okay, so she is at Kelradan Castle. Yes, I will come over shortly. So where is Kelradan Castle? It's all the way over there. That's actually pretty good. I was actually going to go to Singal anyway, so why not? That seems like a pretty good idea to me. And we're probably going to be fighting this snake cult warband. Let's do it. Alright, so this is going to be a bit difficult because they outnumber us this time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually try to make them come up the hill, if at all possible. So let's see if I can just get my archers into a good enough position. Infantry can go over there as well. And oh no, the cavalry is being annoying. They're blocking me. They are blocking me rather considerably. Okay, get out my way, thank you very much. Okay, so these Barclay Superos, they are absolutely fantastic. They are really, really good at what they do. And Kasim is not so good because he actually just got eliminated very easily. Okay, so we're gonna just wait for them to slow down, and then we're gonna tell our people to charge in. There you go. Let's tell our infantry to charge in, tell our cavalry to charge in. I don't really care too much about the units behind these cavalry, because let's face it, the Snake Cult Armsmen are not very damaging at all. However, the Serpent Priestess, on the other hand, and the Anaconda Knights, they are. So we're going to try and just focus on them as much as possible and try and kill them very, very quickly. I mean, I can hope that that's actually gonna... Oh, really? Really? Okay, no, you're not gonna shoot at me, thank you very much. You're just gonna die, thank you. There we go. Alright, so, yes, otherwise, if we can just eliminate these, then we will be able to deal with the Snake Cult Armsmen so much easier, because, in general, personally, I have found, over the years of playing Pendor, you know, in various versions, and so on, that the Snake Cult, they're not that powerful. The only thing that is really, really powerful about them are the Anaconda Knights and the Serpent Priestesses. But, just bear in mind, if you decide to not focus down the Serpent Priestesses or the Anaconda Knights and just allow them to run around and do whatever damage they want to do to your forces, you are eventually going to find yourself completely destroyed, and that's because you just don't focus them down properly. I mean, yeah, I understand, you know, sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes the serpent priestesses are being annoying and they're deciding to run around all over the place, and they're just in general being very difficult to eliminate. But if you can, I'd recommend, if you're having difficulties with the snake cult, if you're starting in the Empire territories or whatever the case may be, I would recommend trying to deal with the serpent priestess and the anaconda knights first, and just allowing the snake cult armsmen and apprentices and whatever else they have to just do whatever they want, because in the grand scheme of things, these guys, they're not going to do anything. They're really going to be very, very, well, I'm not going to say weak, because they can do a lot of damage if you allow them to, but from that range, these armsmen are not going to be able to do that much. And these serpent priestesses and the knights, they're just going to absolutely murder everything that they can. And yeah, it's just a really good idea to focus the most important units down first. If that wasn't obvious, then, well, there you go. That's just a little bit of a tip there, I guess, if you actually need one. But there you go. That's generally what I try to do. This is a very nice horse, which I'm actually going to start to... Should I start to use it? I mean, the thing is, this horse is absolutely fantastic for armor. I mean, it's got 160 HP, 10 more than what we're currently using, but it has 65 armor in comparison to 22. So if we want to become a heavy cavalry of sorts, then I suppose this is going to be the way to go. Anyway, we're just going to allow people to choose whatever they want to choose, and we're then just going to take the rest. And this is an absolutely fantastic... I love bardishes. I don't know whether I've told you this before in this series, but I absolutely love bardishes. Whenever I've played multiplayer Mount and Blade in the past, I've always gone with a bardiche if it has been, you know, in that particular scenario, because sometimes obviously you can't use a two-handed because you're going to get shot or whatever. But these bardiches are absolutely fantastic. I love them a lot. They are really, really cool to use. If you get a chance to make a character that uses a bardiche, preferably in native or something, because you're probably not going to have a very good time using a two-handed in Pendor, because the Noldor, and basically every faction has really, really good archers, with the exception of maybe the Fyhrr's Vein, but then they just have thrown weapons that they can very easily impale you with. But anyway, bardiches, pretty cool. Alright, so that should be it. There we go. Took a whole bunch of units. We're going to take these. And we're going to take all of these as well. Thank you very much. And there we go. Nice. Okay, so that was a very, very cool battle in my opinion, because that has given us a huge amount of experience. We have actually... Oh yeah, we're still... I haven't leveled myself up. Isn't that amusing? Okay, well, let's get a cleric. They're going to become a war priest, I guess. Maybe I should take a look at the troop trees real quick, because I'm not entirely sure which path to take to create an inquisitor. So let's go into the troop trees real quick. And Knight Order Sergeants, Knight Order Knights, Mercenaries, Adventurers. Are they adventurers? Do they count as adventurers? I am unsure. It seems as though they don't. What about mercenaries? Do they count as mercenaries? Yeah, I personally feel like the fellow we just recruited, the Frederick fellow, he is going to be a fantastic vassal, because he's going to run around with these guys, Mettenheim units, and we know that they're really good. So hopefully they're going to be pretty cool for us, and this is not going to help me out at all. Okay, so I have no idea. Is it the Kingdom of Pendor that they actually level up from? No. Okay. Well, this is interesting. I'm actually unsure what to select then. Okay, I have no idea. I guess we're just going to have to find out. But I guess that adds a little bit to the fun, doesn't it? Okay, so let's go into our character here. And we're going to be leveling up our intelligence even further, because we are technically the Pathfinder and all that stuff. And I'm probably going to need to level up our... I'm going to say our horse archery, probably. Because in the end... we're probably going to be playing as a horse archer, and we're gonna need to do that. So I'm gonna level up 2 in horse archery. I'm kind of thinking that I should start leveling up our iron flesh. So maybe in the next level we can maybe level up 2 points into Iron Flesh, because I know, Iron Flesh is widely regarded as being one of the not so great skills, but it is going to give you that valuable HP that you might very well need to survive with a sliver of health remaining in a particular battle or scenario or something like that. So yeah, probably going to try and do that if I can. And if you have any recommendations, by the way, about how we should build our character, then by all means, let me know. And what is that? What was that? An entire noble household has been exiled from Ravenstern. Their bloodline was discovered to be tainted by the Mist Mountain tribes. The knights affected joined with their half-blood brothers and are rampaging through Ravenstern. Well, that's nice to know. It's nice to know that I don't have to worry about them too much. And maybe what we can do... the Empire and the Deshar have made peace, which I suppose is pretty good for them, not so good for me. Hello there. There's another snake cult band. Yes, they thought that their army nearby was going to help them out, but I knew that they were a little bit too far away for that to happen. I'm just going to tell everyone to charge in here. We are way too close for it to make any difference, and I'm going to try and see if I can do some damage to the... Well, I missed one and hit the other one, so I guess that's okay. That was actually kind of amusing, because I thought to myself, I'm gonna probably die here, and then ended up missing one and then hitting the other. So yeah, you could not write that in Looney Tunes, could you? Literally, it's one of those Looney Tunes sketches where Wile E. Coyote is after Roadrunner, and it's just like, I'm gonna get you with this heavy weight or this boulder or something along those lines, and then it ends up hitting himself. And well, maybe if there was two Wile E. Coyotes, and you could kind of call those the Serpent Priestesses, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to try and take some of these guys prisoner as much as possible, obviously. And as you can see, they're literally not doing anything. They're kind of just standing here, not doing much. They can be very, very deadly with their bardishes. I mean, you can see they're actually using bardishes themselves, but sometimes they decide that that's probably not the best idea. But there you go. Pretty easy fight to win, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get some good loot from them as well. I actually wanted to go over to Janos to sell. Whoa, that's a really nice bag of bolts right there. Okay, so I've got very little space. Okay, we're gonna just swap a couple of the lower tier things. Wow, that tunic is literally the worst thing I've ever picked up. Well, not ever, but you know what I mean. Very, very low cost. Okay, so let's just let people... What is that? Snake Cult Rituals. I'm going to take that. Let's let our companions take stuff. They don't want to take anything. They don't want to take anything. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Okay, so we can capture these. Or not. What is actually going on here? Nothing is going on here. Has it crashed? Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll be back in a second. All right. So yeah, that's the one thing that is kind of annoying about playing with mods and things. Even though this is apparently one of the most stable that I have played, and indeed the performance does speak for itself. I do not get any lag whatsoever. There's literally no slowdown. It plays at a constant 60 FPS, which I have to say is pretty amazing for a mod, because there's huge amounts of mods out there that have pretty bad optimization, but obviously, you know, that is to be expected. I mean, you know, if it's a small team, or if they're not particularly experienced in coding and in optimization and stuff like that, then you're gonna get that kind of thing, especially considering some mods have so much going on with it. I mean, they change everything. They change the map, they change all the units, they give them all kinds of unique looks, and there's a bunch of different sub-mods in use. And, you know, obviously Pendor has an amazing mod team behind it that is able to get those performance optimizations, you know, all working in unison and working absolutely perfectly. And that's why I'm extremely surprised I'm extremely surprised that there was any crash whatsoever there. But yeah, anyway, I had to basically go all the way back, and I'm basically... I'm basically at the start, and I wasn't able to get any of the various people that we were able to get beforehand. And now I'm here. This is where I am. And I went down to Cez and to Janos, and I bought my enterprises, of course. Oh yes, and now, here's the thing. The Kingdom of Sarlian has made peace with the Fyhrr. So this quest is cancelled, the one that needs me to, get those Fyhrr sword maidens, and I'm actually pretty happy about that, because that's not something I really wanted to do. But the Dashar principalities are still at war against the Empire, apparently, which is kind of weird, because I thought they actually made peace, weirdly enough, but oh well, never mind. We're still going to be heading on over to Singal, and oh yeah, I did still, by the way, get Frederick. So basically everything is the same, with the exception of the fact that I don't have that much loot, which I'm really, really irritated by, actually, because I thought to myself, okay, we're going to have some awesome gear to sell at Janos, and as soon as we're like really, really close by to it and ready to sell it for, I don't know, I think we probably would have gotten about 5,000, maybe 6,000 more or something, maybe. As soon as that happens, then we get a crash. Oh well, never mind. Bahardur, we are nearing Singar, the largest town in the lower steppe. My mother's sister's husband's cousin, is that a joke? Yes. Came here to marry a townsman. I escorted her, thinking to take service with the Khan of Singal. That, of course, was prior to my small misunderstanding with the Bahardur Khan and the Yusuf Sai? I have no idea how to say that. The Dashar have long come here to trade and raid, and in the last days of the Kingdom of Pendor, we began to settle. Our ancestors took the king's coin to keep the other tribes at bay. We began trading and building settlements to protect our markets. Those settlements became the cities that you see today. Odd that a nomadic people, ugh. Yeah, you can tell the crash has completely thrown me off, can't you? Anyway, could tolerate living on the same place for even a week, let alone centuries. Our famous Dashar warrior poet Kushal Khan Katak was born here. This is one of the best lines from his immortal verse. My soul rejects as my scimitar reddens, sticky with the blood of my enemies. I gain strength from my kills, and my wounds are as nothing. I laugh with delight as the vultures devour their rotting dead. Oh, lovely. That's a very happy poem, isn't it? Yes. Alright, so let us see what we can do about getting something here. I mean, that's the thing, I don't have enough. I don't have enough for a weavery and dye works, which is what we're going to require here. So, I was kind of hoping maybe there would be a tournament here, but no such luck. Okay, so what we're going to do instead is, now that the Fyhrr are at peace with us, we might be able to roam around their territory and try to fight a couple of Vanskree raiders and things like that, because usually they are pretty cool when it comes to giving us nice loot and everything, and Igrim the Devourer has now invaded Pendor as well. Alright, well, let's visit Lady Sonadel. Yes, and you know better than to ask permission to enter. However, as you walk back towards your lodgings, an elderly lady dressed in black approaches you. I am Lady Sonadel's nurse, she whispers urgently. Wait for a while by the spring walls, outside the walls. Yes, I was my girl, her ladyship, out to meet you. You can tell that I'm very senile because I'm not able to read very easily. Yes. Not able to read. I'm not able to read. The nurse was perfectly fine, and I'm sure that she's very young in comparison to me giving her an old voice. Anyway. Ah, Bertil the Looter, you must have received my message. How happy I am that you could come. Yeah, Lady Sonadel, you look great in your fur coat and everything. But my surname is not the Looter, but I guess she doesn't really know that. Okay, so let's have a look here. Do you like poetry, my lady? That would depend on the poem. Okay, so I've got a bunch. Oh dear. I'm gonna try The Wind That Blows the Dry Steppe Dust. Ah, she likes it. Ah, Caius and Leali, a very old standby, but moving in its own way. Ah, there we go. Okay, fantastic. So we actually did a pretty decent job there, and I don't need to speak to her any further. Okay, well, there we go. We can now exit. And we're going to move on to Fyhrr territory. Or we could actually try and fight a Ravenstern vassal. However, I'm not entirely sure how strong or how weak they currently are. So it would probably be a good idea for me to just be a little bit cautious in that respect. So let's see if there's anything around here. Whoa, Knights of the Dawn. Okay, just leave me alone, thanks very much. I would like to fight these Vanskree Raiders on the other hand, because now that we have a blunt mace, I'll be able to take these guys prisoner very, very easily, or easier, and that should enable me to sell enough for potentially being able to afford another Weavery and Dye Works. Not entirely sure how much they're going to be giving me, but hopefully it's going to be enough. Okay, why am I even charging in by myself? Why am I charging in by myself? I'm really good at this, yes. You can tell. I'm really good. Let's try and not get absolutely murdered before my forces arrive, shall we? That would be good. Okay, so do bear in mind there's only 35 of them, so we should be able to eliminate them pretty easily, but bear in mind that they are going to be a little bit more heavily armored than we are used to. And I'd like to kill the Vanskree Jarl if at all possible, or at the very least not die here. Don't die now. Come on, Bertolt. You must stay alive. Your looting skill is required to give me good amounts of loot. I hope. Oh no, getting stopped here is not a good idea. Yeah, okay. Well, seems like I messed that up, didn't I? Really needed to do a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Oh, nope, never mind. Okay, apparently not. Maybe I can take this guy out. Yeah, there we go. That was a Vanskree warrior. That's what we like to see. So now that's exactly the reason why you want to be fighting Vanskree warriors, and indeed Vanskree raiders in general, because the Serpent cult is, well, two of their best units are uncapturable. You cannot capture them. So it is really, really good for us to fight these guys instead. And oh yeah, I should also mention, by the way, that well, technically we should say that the previous fights that we had did not drop the same loot. So my people here do not have the same gear, and they actually had some really, really awesome gear, which I'm really sad about now, because I thought to myself, yeah, they're gonna have some awesome loot now, it's gonna be fantastic and cool and everything. Okay, so apparently Frederick can use his sword on horseback. I'm actually a bit surprised about that, but alright. Let's give him that helm. That's a lot better for him. And yeah, I think we're pretty good. I mean, why is he using that? Why don't we just give him this? He can't use that. Oh yeah, also that horse that we were speculating whether I should use, I also don't have that. Yes, fantastic, isn't it? All right, well, let me just take as much as I can here. And I can now sell at the Fyhrr towns, so that's going to be a lot easier. Oh yeah, by the way, I think the crash was probably due to the automatic, shall we say, bulk taking of captured enemies or rescued prisoners. So I think there might be a bit of an issue with the submod that is dealing with that. So I'm literally just going to do it the old-fashioned way and just take prisoners, you know, the slow way, I guess. And we have... yeah, so we now have leveled up to level 24, because obviously beforehand we were attempting to do that, and we did actually succeed in doing that, but obviously we lost the data, so that's not great, but oh well, never mind. Okay, so Lord Othon is the one that we need to look out for as well. He is the fellow that we were given the task by, so if I could head to Yaviksholm and maybe buy some flax and things, that might be kind of nice. Yeah, there you go, flax bundles. Alright, so let's sell a whole bunch of what we've just gained here. And then what we're going to do is this maiden crossbow is really good, so I'm going to keep that, and we're just going to sell that. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to swap a bunch of the money that we just gained for that, I'm going to take some sausages and some fruits and things like that, just to make sure that our morale is going to stay pretty high. And then we're going to go over to Avendor and see how much money we're going to get, because I think I just spent about 1,300. Didn't I spend about 1,300? Yeah, well, something along those lines. And we are now being called to service. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that sometime, but look at that. An amazing amount of cash right there. And our other enterprises have still not been activated. So just bear that in mind. We're going to be getting much more money per week. So that's really nice. And oh, look at that. There is another army for the snake cult. Near says. Interesting. Okay, so let's go and sell the flax here for 157. Yeah, a pretty decent amount. And we just gained 1,300. Did I really spend 1,300 before? It's kind of a bit disappointing. Oh well, never mind. Well, we can't sell our prisoners, even though we don't have many. Leslie is here. This is a traveler. We might be able to... Perhaps. What is it? Ah, there is a hidden chest in Valenbray. Ah, very nice. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's actually going to be helping us out quite a bit, because that means that we'll be able to go and get some assorted treasure. And I still need to visit the chest in Rain as well, which is going to give me some, some treasure as well, and that's going to give me a pretty decent amount of cash. So I'm going to take Leslie here. She is free, as far as I'm aware. Yep, she's free. So me taking her is not really going to make too much difference in us being able to either afford or not afford another enterprise. So I think it's a pretty decent idea. If she doesn't get along with one of them, then it's not really a big deal, and we can just let her go, and she can just go wherever she so desires. Alright, so otherwise we're just going to continue leveling these guys up, and we're going to try and get our halberdiers done as well. We need 5 of them, don't we? We do need 5 of them. Okay, so what was I going to say that I was going to do here? Yeah, I said I was going to do Iron Flesh, didn't I? So let's go and get 58 HP, and I think I'm probably going to be spending another 3 or so points in Iron Flesh as we level up our strength, as we continue to level up, of course. And I think that's going to be a pretty decent amount of HP to have. Having about 65 in Pendor, I feel, is pretty good. Obviously, any more than that is always welcome, but otherwise, I think that's pretty good. All right, so next time, I'm going to try and find King Ulrich, and we are also going to try and find Lord Othon, and we'll probably fight a Ravenstone vassal. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.